Welcome to Bruce Talks, the show that's all about making crop insurance make sense. I'm Bruce Lantzky, a crop insurance agent with over 25 years of experience and a producer right here in Northeast Iowa.
For today's episode, we're going to cover a couple different items. With daylight starting to last further and further in the evening, it can only mean one thing. Spring prices are getting set. We're going to have a quick discussion on where we're at halfway through the pricing period. Also received a snap from one of my insureds yesterday. He's pulling the planter out of the shed and had a caption. He said, "Plant in the snow and let it grow." Got thinking about that, and I said, let's cover some private products and see what they have available for you to allow you to have replant coverage and possibly even be able to plant at an earlier date. All right, today this is being recorded on Wednesday, so we're officially 8 days into our discovery period for the folks that are in the upper Midwest with a 3/15 sales closing date. The spring price is set during the month of February, the average price during the month of February. For corn, that's based off of the December 26 contract, and for soybeans, it's off the November 26 contract. As of this date, which is the 11th of February, the average spring price for corn is $4.57, and the volatility factor is going to be a 0.15. The current futures price is about $4.58. If we don't have any movement in the price of the December futures through the end of the month, we're probably looking at about $4.58 spring price. If we add a penny every day, we might work our way up to an average of $4.60. If we drop a couple cents every day, the worst we're going to be is about $4.54. Pretty limited movement on that, if you ask me. On the soybean side, we're actually at $10.88 for a November 26 futures price. The current volatility estimate is going to be a 0.12. The current futures price is $11.05. If we don't have any movement until the end of the month in the futures price, our average is actually going to be closer to $11. It's going to be $10.98. If we drop 2 cents every day, we're going to be down to $10.90. But if we add a couple pennies more each day on average, we're going to be up to $11.06. So we're going to have at least $10.88, probably a little better, unless the current market just completely falls apart. The volatility factors for corn and soybeans, they're actually very low. The volatility factors for corn, they're estimated currently at 0.15. Last year, it was at 0.19, and this is going to cause quite a bit of a difference in premiums for the producers that are coming along, and it's going to be to the better side, actually. The soybean volatility is also down. We're at 0.12 for an estimated, and last year we were at 0.15. In this example, we're showing Wisconsin. It's going to be in Monroe County corn, for example. Last year, he was buying 80% RP, enterprise unit, and the full amount of ECO. He is spending close to $34.77 an acre for a producer premium. And I'm going to be going and meeting with this fella tomorrow. His 2026 estimated premiums, same 80% RP, enterprise unit coverage, and ECO at the 95-100. It's only going to cost him $20 an acre. So as you can see, this is going to be real savings for people. Half the savings was from the fact that we increased the ECO subsidy from 65% to 80%. The other one was the 80% enterprise units had an additional 3% subsidy onto it. So you can see the savings are going to be real. Now, if you're a beginning farmer, like we talked about before, you're going to have even more savings piled on top of that. Now let's talk about these guys that are pulling this planter out with snow still setting on the ground. If they're listening, you know who you are. Many states have endorsements to their hail policy that'll provide you with some additional replant coverage. Usually you can add $50 to $75 per acre on top of your normal multi-peril replant coverage. Just for review, your replant coverage on your multi-peril is equal to 8 bushels of corn, or if you're replanting soybeans, it'd be 3 bushels of soybeans at the spring price. With the current spring prices, corn replant on your multi-peril is only going to pay $36 an acre, and on your soybeans about $32 an acre. So as you can see, this is an easy way to add some additional replant coverage to your crop in case you need to replant. The other nice thing about adding this on your hail policy is you're going to get paid on that first acre instead of needing 20 acres or 20% of your unit to qualify for replant coverage on your multi-peril policy. This is where it gets interesting. Some states, if you're buying an additional replant on your hail coverage, they're going to provide you with additional early plant coverage as well. This is for those guys that are pulling the planter out of the snowbank. It provides additional dollars to replant, but it also allows you to plant up to 20 days before that initial plant date on your multi-peril policy. In this example, this is Indiana. The initial plant date is April 1st. Well, 20 days before that with early plant, if the conditions are fit, he could actually be planting on the 11th of March and have coverage up to the $75 an acre of replant and have coverage for replanting based on his hail policy. On the beans, his initial plant date is the 5th of April. 20 days earlier than that is actually going to be the 15th of March. The nice thing about this is the premiums are not terribly out of line. In this example, $2.25 is going to get you $75 of early plant replant coverage. Obviously, you're wanting the ground to be fit, but if this allows you to go, if the ground's fit early, you'll know you're going to have coverage in case it doesn't work out for you. All right, so let's summarize some things. Crop insurance prices, they're being set, and it looks like we have a chance for $11 soybeans. Corn, we're just not going to move much. I'm looking like it's going to be $4.58 for a spring price. That being said, premiums are going to be lower for the same amount of coverage as last year, and this is mainly due to the increased subsidy, one, but also the lower volatility factor that they're putting on the quotes. And then finally, this additional replant coverage through your hail policies available for pretty reasonable premium. Many states are going to provide an early plan as well as part of this policy. Review your coverage. Can you purchase additional coverage for the same dollar amount? Does it make sense, or does it make sense to maybe look at buying additional replant coverage or something that's going to help in other areas of your operation? Investigate that replant coverage as part of your hail policy to help enhance your multi-peril replant coverage. You might have an early plan in there to where it's going to help you get started planting earlier. We're currently halfway through this discovery period for corn and soybeans in our area. Volatility factors and increased subsidies are going to make for attractive premiums. You also want to consider it might be the year to increase that coverage or change your unit structure and save some dollars. Replant coverage is still pretty cheap. It's an optional endorsement on a hail policy. It provides you additional replant coverage, and it may offer an early plant coverage that allows you to start planting as soon as the ground's fit. All right, so that's going to be a wrap for today's Bruce Talks. Talked about the spring pricing, where it may finish, and what premiums may look like compared to last year, and we have some good results. We also covered replant coverage on the hail policy and how this could give you added coverage and possibly give you a jump on being able to get the crop in the ground and know that you have the confidence that you have coverage in case you do need to replant. Be sure to join us next week. We'll break down another timely topic that's going to impact your farm, from risk management strategies to government programs for crop insurance, so you can make confident and informed decisions for your operation. Thanks for tuning in to Bruce Talks, where we keep your farm future in focus. See you next time.